Hey guys, thanks a lot for tuning in to Yak Angling. I want to go over a build here. I've got a fishing net that I purchased, and it was kind of purchased at a big bulk store, and it was the Frabill. They call it the quick stow folding net. It's actually a pretty cool net. I do like this one a lot. I've used it in the boat, and I love it in the kayak. So I'm gonna make a conversion over to this to change this over to a rubber net. And it seems pretty simple. So I mean, for anybody who's, pretty skilled, it's probably gonna be pretty easy. But just to kind of go over kind of what it is right here. This is all nylon. If you know anything about nylon catching fish and you get a big fish, and the thing's thrashing around in there, and you got treble hooks on, like a whatever, it's gonna get hung up in this thing, and it's just gonna be a pain in the butt. So the idea is to take this Frabill rubber net that I picked up and make the change. Now, I paid about $19 for this one right here at a store. I won't say what one, but you can find many of your really big franchise box stores. Anyways, and I got this one there too. And this one right here, I paid about $25 for it. But it's well worth its money in gold just because of the netting that's on this thing. The rubber is so much better for trout and things like that, and you really won't have a problem getting your lures and stuff hung up in this thing if you got a fish thrashing around. And not only that, it actually runs quite a bit deeper, you can see from that one, compared to what this one is. If you get some large smallmouth bass, or even some, decent sized pike, it's gonna fit into that rubber net much better. You get into a really large pike, I mean, there's no way you're gonna net them with one of these things, but at least maybe you can keep them close to the kayak or the boat or whatever it is you're looking at doing. And for me, in my case, I'm kayaking, and I need something that I can dig into the water close, and if I need to reach out, I still have some depth if I have to, but for the most part, being in a kayak, I can keep it short, and it does exactly what I need. And I can lay my leg right over it, throw the fish right into the net here while I'm actually taking care of whatever I got to do, and then I can kind of disperse the fish from there. So I kind of want to go over what I had here. Anyways, so all you're going to need is a Phillips head on a power drill. These things are actually pretty tight in there. So the idea is to remove the screws that are on this system right here, and then we'll remove the net, pull the net off of that one also, and then we'll have to kind of fish it through this one. All right, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the side screws that I have right on the shaft right here. There's two of them, and that'll remove these hard lines right there to pull the whole thing away, and then we can slide this whole entire thing out. But not only that, there's also a little ring keeper in there. I didn't even realize that offhand, but that's got to come out of there also. And we'll make sure we install that back in there when we're done. There, now everything's separated. And then we just have to take and unthread the nylon off of this one right here. It actually goes pretty easy, and I've used one like this before, and I really like it a lot. So it's kind of a gimme to have to go do this. So I need one more tool I didn't realize. I gotta get a socket head on this thing, so I'll be right back. All right, so I got myself my little socket, 1/4 ounce, and I just checked the fit, and I can literally spin these things off by hand. So that just kind of tells you some of the quality you get when you get with some things. And surprised it's not a little bit better, but I guess you don't pay very much for it. But all I want is the net out of this thing, so I'll make it work with what I need out of it. Can't seem to get it off as easy as I thought. Sure is damn buggy. All right. So for this, all we have to do is just take and remove the binding on this thing. And hardest part is just going to get it off. initially. It's kind of stretched on there. So there, don't need that. So now we have the binding net. We want to get this thing to fish all through there. Now you're going to notice that the old one had a loop through it. So the whole thing had a loop all the way around it. And that's what this right here slid through. It's not going to work that way with this one. So what I noticed with this one is I have all these little loop guides on there, which the binding was on there. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to continue fishing it right through there. So you just kind of go in one, out the other, in one, out the other. So that way you keep a, you know, that typical pattern going, I guess. And that'll be the consistent way of going all the way around this thing. So that way you have it laying in the right and doesn't wind up kind of folding up kind of funny for you. So we'll go ahead and get this thing all done. Okay, so now I've got everything kind of woven through the net all the way around, and I've gone through all the large loops and stuff that held the ring in place on there. Now all I have to do is take and reattach the arms back onto the handle system here. So that goes pretty quick. Get one on there right away. There, now everything's in place. All you gotta do is kind of pull the netting back a little bit, and there was a ring on there. I'm gonna take that ring off and I'm gonna install it back on here. And all this is a keeper, basically, typical like car key ring. And what this does is it keeps the net close to the handle side so it doesn't slide forward. So if it was on there, I figured I might as well throw it on this one also. So it should go pretty quick on there. There we go. It's all said and done. So now you have a collapsible rod net, and you can use it wherever you want to go for trout fishing and whatever. And yeah, and it won't get hung up. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and build yourself one of these. I think you're gonna like it.